Welcome back to the Rooted Wild podcast. I'm Katherine Winkles, a certified recreation therapist. And this space is where we explore nervous system care, recreation therapy, and sustainable ways of living well through nature, movement, creativity, rest, and compassionate self-understanding. In the last few episodes, we've talked about nervous system literacy and how movement can support regulation when approached with safety rather than pressure. Today we're stepping into something quieter, and often harder to talk about. This episode is called Chronic Pain, Identity, and Grief. Because living with chronic pain doesn't just affect your body. It can affect who you feel like you are, how you relate to others, what you're able to do, and what gives your life meaning. And with those changes often comes grief, even if no one names it that way. Let's begin. Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. If it feels okay, notice your body as it is right now. You don't need to scan for pain. Just notice where you feel supported, where you feel tension, or where you feel neutral. Grief and identity shifts often show up quietly in the body. Awareness can help us respond with care instead of criticism. Chronic pain changes more than sensation. Chronic pain is often discussed in terms of symptoms: physical discomfort, fatigue, mobility limitations, sleep disruption, and sensory sensitivity. But it also reshapes daily life in ways that are less visible. Pain can affect work roles, parenting roles, friendships, hobbies, movement, social participation, creative expression, and future planning. Activities that once felt automatic may now require pacing, planning, assistance, or recovery time. And when participation changes, identity often follows. Identity disruption. Many people living with chronic pain describe feeling like a different version of themselves. Less capable, less reliable, less social, or less confident. You might notice, I used to be active. I used to be dependable. I used to work long hours. I used to travel. I used to enjoy this. These statements often reflect role loss, the shift from who you were able to be to who you are able to be now. Recreation therapy recognizes that participation in meaningful activities is closely tied to self-concept, autonomy, competence, and purpose. So when access to those activities change, identity can feel uncertain. Grief without a ceremony. Grief is often associated with death, but it can also arise from loss of function, loss of routine, loss of predictability, loss of independence, loss of ease, or loss of opportunity. Chronic illness and pain involve ambiguous loss, losses that are ongoing, fluctuating, or difficult to explain to others. This type of grief may not receive social recognition. People may say, "At least you look fine. You're still here. You just need to stay positive." But unrecognized grief can still affect mood, motivation, relationships, and engagement in life. Naming grief doesn't mean giving up. It means acknowledging change. Relationships and social roles. Pain can also affect relationships. You might notice needing more support, declining invitations, changing responsibilities, feeling misunderstood, or avoiding conversations about symptoms. Some relationships may adjust easily, while others may struggle with unpredictability, limitations, or changes in availability. Recreation therapy often focuses on maintaining social participation, adapting activities, exploring new roles, and building supportive routines. Because connection supports nervous system regulation, even when capacity is limited. Work, recreation, and meaning. When pain affects work or recreation, people may experience financial stress, changes in routine, reduced independence, or loss of enjoyment. Activities that once provided accomplishment, creativity, connection, or stress relief may now feel inaccessible or exhausting. This can create a sense of disconnection from purpose. Recreation therapy emphasizes adapting meaningful activities, exploring new interests, pacing participation, and rebuilding access to leisure. Meaning doesn't disappear, but it may shift. Integrating loss and adaptation. Living well with chronic pain often involves balancing acceptance of limits and exploration of possibility. Adaptation might include modifying activities, adjusting expectations, scheduling recovery, or choosing participation over performance. These changes can feel unfamiliar, but they can also support stability, predictability, and self-trust. Healing isn't always about returning to the past. Sometimes it's about learning new ways to participate in the present. Take a moment to consider, what activities feel meaningful to you right now, even in small ways? Is there something you'd like to participate in more often with support or pacing? What does connection look like for you today? There's no need to decide anything. Just noticing can help guide future choices. Chronic pain may change how you move through the world, but it doesn't remove your capacity for meaning, connection, or participation. Grief and adaptation often exist together. Naming what's been lost can make space for what's still possible. In our next episode, we'll explore how sensory regulation throughout the day can support nervous system stability, especially when energy fluctuates. Until then, be gentle with change. Be curious about what's still meaningful, and let participation take many forms. There are many life changes we go through during the lifespan, so try to stay open to the possibilities. Stay rooted, and as always, stay wild.